Okay, here we are, round 570 on a bug round, okay? This round is going to be 22 minutes. As a matter of fact, let me hit pause here real quick. The regular rounds are around 8.5 to 9 minutes. These rounds are absolutely no challenge. And in the vote, I think this is just a misunderstanding of how these things work. We're not skipping around if you save and quit. Like I just saved and quit after getting a bug round 2 rounds ago. And then boom, I'm back in and it's another bug round because it's RNG based. So all you're doing is using RNG trying to extend to when you're getting a bug round. Every round must be played in full and you're actually coming back in off of a server pause or a save and quit. And when you do that, you're risking so much. Like any server disconnect, your game's gone. And so you're trying to speed through what is 140 to 200 hour game, depending on what map. And you're talking about a difference of 10, 15, 20 hours if you get good RNG. It's not for a speed run, but that's like a day of someone's life, you know? So it's a very significant thing for something that, you know, no bonus rounds are supposed to be like this. There should always be a cap. If it turns out, you know, a little down the line, I really don't think they intended them to be this long. I mean, nothing's ever been like this. Let's go back to like Revelations, you know? Those were long, but they didn't get absurdly long. You know, I think they reached like a max point at some point. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but you know, same is true with like Cold War. I can't think of any examples of where anything like this ever happened. It leads me to believe it's some type of bug in the program. So it's no challenge. You literally can sit here. The only risk is that like now at 570, I'm going to have 7 AFK warnings, okay, that could kick me from the game. On Terminus, people at this level are buying ammo 6-7 times for a max ammo round. It doesn't make sense, okay? It's a waste of time. We're sucking off cockroaches and shooting bugs in a window. There's no skill required for this. The round doesn't get skipped. Like if I saved and quitted, it was 570 and came back to another round, it'd still be 570. The only difference is you're dealing with stuff that's actually a challenge that could actually kill you. This can't. You're just sitting here, one-handed, tapping a trigger or a key on a keyboard. It literally is that simple. So those are just a couple of the main factors. You know, I see that with your decision, your granddad, some people, I know how this works. I understand there's going to be a million changes that wipes the boards. Maybe a greater discussion that we were having back in the day and could never get implemented was all-time boards. So from like season 1 through the end of the game, there's an all-time board. Example, my 600 4PD machine. It got wiped from the boards. It should be on the all-time boards, you know. Game mechanics are going to change 100 times before the end of this, you know. And that's a pain in the butt for ZWR staff, too. And then you make everyone mad when you wipe the boards. I can tell you where it left me after, like, losing that one. I was like, boy, what's the point of submitting? Put it on my YouTube, you know. It happened. And I don't want to feel that way. I love that there's DWR. I love that you guys took it over. That's great. You know, I hope it does well. But this vote should have been separated from high round versus first room in speedruns, in our opinion. I've talked to a lot of different players in the high round community. If this is worded correctly, I believe the vote would be completely different. So, and informed. So, just watch how simple this is. Try and make it through this 21 minutes of watching this. And tell me if you think we should be able to postpone these. We're not skipping rounds. We're just postponing what type of rounds. I want a round where I'm battling amalgamums, manglers, zombies, mimics. I want it to be tough and exciting. This is boring. And dangerous, because honestly, these server kicks, it's going to be 7 this round. But honestly, I really think you should have a discussion and be glad to add my 2 cents about having all-time boards that show like the highest round from each season, or the top 3 until we get to final build, because that'll be good for ZWR and the website. It will appease the players because you put in a lot of work for a record, and then they make some minor change, or they add a perk, and they add an augment, and they add an ammo mod, and they add equipment, and it changes the game. We know it's going to happen, guys. Everyone knows. If you've been around zombies for, at least since BO3, BO4, especially BO4 on, and Cold War. And they're going to take it to a whole new level, this game. There's just more things that can completely change the game. They're going to balance stuff more. It's just the way they do it. It's the game cycle. So, there's my 2 cents reiterating for that. And please, bring grief back, since we're adding wish lists here. Anyways. Are we having a great time? There we go. AFK warning number 2. Let's just use an ether shroud. Oh, is that? Don't need anything there. Back to sucking off cockroaches. I'm doing this with my left hand, while doing other things on the computer. And it's not just the time thing. It's more of just there's no challenge to it, and it's broken. It's ridiculous. And you're gonna have to play them. I mean, the best I think I've gotten, I'm here at a point where obviously I'm not restarting my game. So I need to get a ruling from some people quick here soon of whether I can just keep on doing what I'm doing for this game and get Granddad in because it's already existing before the rule. Or do I have to switch to this policy before we know whether the policy is 100% going to be this way forever? Tomorrow they could come out and fix these things. It's been brought to their attention. They're slow. They're too busy half-ass fixing pile-up glitches and other shit like that, and things that are broken in the game. This is one of them. But I to what degree they've been made attention, brought to their attention, I don't know. But I bet if you ask a dev and show them that as you get into the 900s that these rounds are like 45 minutes long. They're a max ammo round. Anyways. How many of you are still with me? This is boring shit. I'm turning this off. I've seen enough. So we're only 10 minutes in, so I'm going to wrap this up to make it easy for you guys to watch, because none of you want to waste 21 minutes, 22 minutes of your life watching me suck off cockroaches, all right? So pros. Players have a chance of saving a lot of time in their lives and not wasting it on an easy, no challenge bug round where you're going to get inactivity warnings like this every 3 minutes, because whether it be whatever, you always go to a spawn spot that's, you know, super quick and the fastest one, you know, obviously. So that's always going to be the strat for doing this. I mean, remember, like, D-Machine, there was that place you could stand by, when you're up in the penthouse, by the pillars, and it would make them spawn. You could have, like, 10-second max ammo rounds. You can't do that here. No max ammo round. Should be 21 minutes. Okay, so back to the pros. That... it's RNG based, which makes it kind of another cool mechanic of the game. That's what Zombies is all about. Like I said, not only can you pause at a bug round, but if you pause at a regular round, let's say I do a bug round right now and I pause next round, I could come back on 571 and it could potentially be a bug round again, because it's 1 out of 5 RNG of what round is going to come up. Supposedly it's 1 out of 5. That's the stats I've heard. So either way you do it, people are gonna have to pause. And okay, cons. None of you want to watch 150, 200 hours of gameplay and scour it to see if someone paused on a bug round. And what's to say, even if they might have had to pause on a bug round because they're so long and they've got to go do something. They don't have 30, 40, 50 minutes to play a round. And so, being this online game, you have to save at that point. So it's so unenforceable for you guys. It's a nightmare. Things are gonna sneak in. Competitors are gonna say, no, but he skipped a bug round, and you gotta ban him. It's gonna cause all sorts of drama that none of y'all want. Okay? Trust me. We've done this before. Other pros, you know, it's, cons. Let's stick with the cons. If you skip a bug round, you have to, when you load back in, you have to play that round to an entirety. If there's some type of server disconnect or error, or you lose internet, power goes out or something, you get a flicker, the route, you know, your ISP decides, you know, they're going to do a quick maintenance thing, that's it. Your game's ripped. So it behooves you to actually play all the rounds. You shouldn't pause at all unless you have to for the night and you make sure it quits properly. So maybe you shouldn't skip rounds in a long run, but for safety's sake, but people should be allowed to have the option. Especially people who are already in games where I've been doing it for half this game. Because we say, oh, well, from this point on, don't do it. Well, what was I doing before? That just says I was cheating before. I wasn't cheating, doing what everyone else did. And it makes sense. I've thought about it. I've weighed it out. I'm like, do I want to continue taking a chance? Like Insomnia, when he got to like the 900s, he stopped skipping bug rounds because he didn't want to take a chance of messing up the game. I'll be doing the same thing, riding it out. But as we're cruising up there, you know, these are long games, guys. Oh, and then again, what you're being substituted for is an actual crazy round with 10, 11 manglers blasting you at the same time in the face. Crazy shit going on. It might look easy, but when you get into high rounds, man, if you're doing 140, 150 hours of gameplay, it only takes a split second for something to go wrong. There's so many bugs, there's so many errors, so many things that don't work. The workbench can't connect to it. You get stuck at it. This new thing happens. They do an update, a hot fix, and it screws up some other mechanic. There's so many risks in doing this. Taking away our bug rounds, or our ability to choose whether we want to skip a bug round, is really, I don't think, the right choice this early in the game. We just don't know what's going to happen. And whether all of a sudden, you know, they're going to fix it. And then it's like, I know I'm being repetitive here, but there's some other points, guys. I keep making points for days. But I think that's the main thing. Oh, we still have 5-6 minutes in this round. So I guess I'll have to repeat myself again. I've run out of things to say. I didn't know that was possible. Look, you guys also got to understand, Microsoft owns Activision now. This is a Bill Gates venture. They're indoctrinating our children to suck off cockroaches, all right? And eat bugs. So WEF, I'm just fucking around. Or am I? I don't know. You know? It's crazy times we live in. You gotta be careful what you read on the internet. Do your own research. What do I know? I'm just a guy sucking off way too many cockroaches. Oh yeah, you know, I'm not inactive. I'm sitting here killing cockroaches. Anyways, high rounders unite. You know, let your voices be heard. Go to zwr.gg and click that. Make sure you're in the new Discord server. There's a new one. New ownership, new management. Brought back from the ashes. I don't know the full story. But I look forward to learning it with you. So I suggest you get in there and go into general chat and whatnot and say, I vote for this to be this. I think it should be this way. If you disagree, tell me why you disagree. Put it in the comments below. You know, I'll put this up on YouTube. Why not? I mean, I'm sure as soon as Citadel comes out, the boards are going to need to be wiped because there's going to be a new perks, new augments, new ammo mods, all that stuff's coming out, and it's going to change the game. So, before I even finish this game, and this has been the case, we were joking as everyone was on the race to 999 initially about there's been 10, 12 patches. What patch, how many patches are you on now, you know? And the save feature allows you to update in-game, and it changes those along. So I understand in this particular case, does happen. I mean, if they went ahead and made the change so these rounds were so long, yeah, the game would change. So until Treyarch does, or they make us come back on the rounds we left, and they keep track of where you were. If you left on a bug round, they could easily say, you got to come back in a bug round. But they haven't done that. So I just feel like there's a little bit of overreach here. It is an actual game mechanic. To say that save and quit is not a part of the game mechanics is kind of short-sighted, naive, or at least it should be. You know what I mean? I've spelled out the different risks involved. Another AMK warning. Gonna get kicked from my game. So that's my greatest threat during this, is AFK warnings. I'm one-handing in one spot the rest of this. So again, a lot of people might just want to play these rounds out. They're so easy. It's like, I finally get a round where everything's not trying to kill me, you know? But for those of us that like that challenge, I say set us free. Let us spin the wheel of RNG on postponing bug rounds. Stop calling it skipping bug rounds. It's postponing bug rounds. You're not skipping a round. You start saying skipping a round, every round must be played to its entirety. Every round is being played to its entirety. We're just spinning the wheel to see if it could be zombies, manglers, and some mimics or bugs, and bosses. Those are zombie rounds. We reject these max ammo rounds. I mean, I actually pondered going on an ammo run. It's just kind of a pain from here. It screws up the spawns. And I got a jet gun. So, I'm lucky on Liberty Falls. That is not going to be the case on every other map. KHF is doing 7+ ammo runs per round now for one max ammo. On Terminus. We'll see how Citadel is. Oh, we're getting there, boys and girls. Who's still with me? We are at 24 minutes. 24 minutes versus 8 to 9 minutes for regular rounds. Hiya! 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 Oh, dude had skills. Let me turn that off. We did it! Way to go, team! Alright, well, there's my 2 cents. Please think about it. Act swiftly. I'd really love to enjoy a BO6 that is not chock full of drama nonstop. I believe we can do it. Let's all come together and sing Kumbaya. I don't know if we need to go that far. All right. Have a fantastic day.